Hey pillars, and welcome back to another cycling video. In this video we're taking a look at the Zwift Hub smart trainer just released. I'm kind of late to the party, but I wanted to share my thoughts because I think this is a very important move when it comes to the smart trainer space along with indoor cycling. So I want to give my opinion whether or not this is a good move or a bad move, and just my overall opinion. So let's jump right into it. Now, we currently are on the Zwift website and we will be taking a look at the specs for the Zwift Hub. But when it comes to Zwifting, I'm a level 50,000 kilometers on Zwift, 62 days, 140,000 meters, and a lot of calories burnt. When it comes to Zwift, I just missed the beta group in 2014. So in 2015 is when I officially started using Zwift. So basically from the inception of Zwift, I was on the platform as a junior. And I just want to share, in my opinion, really quick, that without Zwift, a lot of my cycling journey wouldn't be possible because in Toronto, Canada, it gets really cold in the winter. So the fact that when I was a junior and had nothing to do in the winters, I was able to ride indoors. So I'll always give props and love to Zwift. So I just want to say I might be a little biased in this video, but now with that being said, I just want to say I love Zwift and I always will love it. We are taking a look at the hub. So it says it's the easiest way to start Zwifting, and it's the Zwift Hub. So unbox, unlock virtual worlds. So it's basically an out-of-a-box smart trainer, probably around the mid-tier section. I do have some notes on the side. So right off the bat, this is somewhat of a clone that Zwift made some changes to, which is the Jet Black Volt. Now, originally that was going supposedly for $850 USD, but it seems like the price has come where there's a new variation of the Volt that's going to be competing against the Zwift smart trainer. But basically they worked with Jet Black, and it's funny enough, Jet Black is the first branded fluid trainer I had as a junior. So, you know, I've been in the trainer space for a long time. I remember when smart trainers were just dropping and it was like so far out of reach. I was with the fluid and using virtual power. So, you know, Zwift has come a long way since 2015, but this is $499 USD out of the box. They do have, you know, plans if you want to pay monthly for it. But just from the get-go, I just want to say that this is pretty ingenious. There was talks of a smart bike being developed by Zwift for the longest time, and it was going to be a play on the Tron bike. But I just want to say that I've been seeing this for the longest time. Me and my cycling buddy, we both work in the cycling industry. It was always curious to us why Zwift never came with their own trainer, but I guess they worked up good enough relationships with a lot of the brands that did smart trainers, got a big audience through the fact that these were controllable smart devices, got a lot of riders onto the platform and a lot of new riders interested in indoor training. And now it's perfectly the time to drop where they have enough of a user base, a good enough subscription base that they're going to make, you know, a trainer. And then that's going to allow the subscription model to grow even more, because even if this trainer is not profitable, it gets riders, you know, into the sport. So even if they break more or less even or just lose a little bit of profit, the fact that they will have that monthly subscription and then grow that you know, audience from one rider telling another rider or potential rider, then I think that's a very smart thing that they're doing. These other smart trainer brands just never invested the money to actually go head to head with Zwift. So the fact that Zwift has the monopoly on indoor training, you know, whose fault is that really? So, you know, the fact that Zwift is really going to make it accessible for a lot of new riders to get into that, you know, smart trainer, you know, world is very good. Because I remember as a junior when I was on the fluid trainer, that trainer was pretty expensive at the time, around like I would say 200 USD if I'm not mistaken. It's a long time ago. So the fact for $499 you can have the fact that it's controllable, you can do erg workouts, you can do real world riding in terms of gradient changes and all that stuff, and has, you know, all the things that you'd want in a normal trainer. It blows my mind really, because that would have made a big difference back when I rode, because I remember I didn't have anything controllable out of the box as a new Zwifter. So we have some marketing on screen, and then it says built for your own bike. So you can either have a no cassette model, 8-speed, 9-speed, 10-speed, 11-speed, 12-speed, which is great to see. So they basically have it decked out right out of the box that's going to get sent to you. Now, obviously this is not going to be carried in bike shops. This is going to be delivered to consumers. So just off the gun, it looks really clean. I really like how it looks. I like the flares of the colors to show where the feet should go, because I don't know how you can get confused. Usually the shorter ones at the back and the longer ones at the front, but that's what they have here. And then we have other shots of the trainer. I love the logo of Zwift. This is another side angle. close-up of the cassette, so you don't even need tools to do that. And this can be very intimidating. I remember when I got my bike set up on the trainer for the first time back, this is like 2015, it was a lot of, intimidation for a new rider to figure all this out. But Zwift is trying to make it as easy as it can, because I'd say Zwift is for the moderate cyclist that is looking to lose weight, looking to get fit, looking to do maybe their first fondo or charity ride. So, and obviously for riders that are in cold climates, but they're trying to make the experience, the user experience, as easy as possible. So in terms of the size, weight, we have all the specs right here. Max wattage, 1800 watts. That'd be hard to see if you could max this out. 16% gradient for $499. Power accuracy plus or minus 2.5%. Like, these are amazing stats, because I remember trainers, if I'm not mistaken, back in 2017 that were like semi-smart trainers, and their max percentage was like 6 to 9%. Now, the fact that you're getting this from a $499 USD smart trainer is just great to see. Now, looking at connectivity, it's basically going to be able to connect with everything. Compatibility as well, basically every wheel size you can imagine for road and mountain bike. And then for the axles, they have a really good way to show if you have to put the adapters in for your bike. They have a really good color coded system for that. And then the additional specs right here. So it looks really, really good in my opinion. We're going to go to the second page and just look at this video that they have, intro to your Zwift Hub. Just from the start, it looks clean. Like, this is exactly what I think the average rider should have if they're going to do indoor training during the winter. This is something, like I said, I wish I would have had when I was a junior, because the value is totally there. I like their approach. Like I said, it's very simple. This is like as easy as it gets. 1, 2, 3. This is what you get out of the box. The orange background for their, that's Zwift's main color. I love it. It's just so simple. So that's the trainer basically all screwed together. And this is what I'm talking about, the axles, making sure that you take that piece, which is ingenious. I haven't seen a company do this, and you actually can measure on your bike to see which one you should use. So very smart, because you'd be surprised. I've worked in the cycling industry. A lot of riders don't know how, it's intimidating. So the fact that they're making it super simple is great to see. And this is where I'm saying that, the fact that they have the Zwift platform, they can do stuff like this that's just going to desecrate the smart trainer market. Like, how are other trainer companies going to compete with this? It's just ingenious. And they're showing you how to put in the smallest cog to actually take the wheel off. So, like, just a very, very smart. You don't even have to watch another YouTube video, because this is very simple from the get-go. If someone says, oh, I want to do Zwift, that looks really cool, then this is all at their fingertips. Very instructional based, very smart. Like, this is very clever. They show you how to pair it from the start. Power, Zwift Hub, everything's there. You just have to pair heart rate, because that's separate from the trainer. And like, simple. So I think this trainer, like, I have my thoughts here. I think it's amazingly priced. I think the fact that even if they don't make money on this, the fact that they're going to bring in more riders is so important. And I think they waited for the right time. And, unfortunately, it was right after, lockdown, where a lot of people got into indoor riding to begin with. Now, I always will be using indoor riding, because I think it's great for intervals. It's a little bit different now because I live in the mountainous region, so I can do a lot of long efforts on climbs where I'm not going to be, distracted by cars or endangered. So for me, it might change over my cycling journey, but for the longest time when I lived in a cold climate, Zwift was the go-to app for long efforts. It was a go-to app for, connectivity. I remember the first time in 2015 when I was riding with my friend in Zwift. So, like, a fellow teammate, like, that just blew my mind. I'm like, wow. And, like, this is before meetups and stuff. Like, I would have to ride to a specific location, wait for him, and then we'd start going. So I'm just sharing a little bit of my experience with Zwift over the years, but this is just so smart. Anyone that's going to be mad and say this is bad for other companies, you don't understand how hard it is for new riders to get into the sport. If you work in the cycling industry, this is a very hard thing for riders that are just getting into cycling. They don't know how to put a cassette on. They don't know what cassette's compatible. They don't know about axles. They don't know about how measuring, the dropouts. Like, there's a lot of things people forget. And I think this puts the fire on Tax, like /Garmin, Wahoo. Like, it puts this need to make their trainers either better or to invest more money into their training platforms. But I think Zwift has the monopoly at this point, and they were very clever how they did it. Obviously, they partnered with Jet Black, which has made trainers for a long time. So it's not like this quality is like the quality is not going to be there. So, they have some competition on their hands. And I think for Zwift, this was writing on the wall. And I think it's kind of scary, because I even think for even 85%, even, very competitive cyclists, I don't think you need a better trainer than that. If I'm being honest, like if you're a serious cyclist that's racing, this is just my rant now on my thoughts. If you're a serious cyclist racing, like all your efforts, like the true efforts, are going to be done on the road. So, does this trainer do the majority of things that you need from a trainer? In my opinion, I would say yes. Like I have a Tax Neo, and I still think this trainer is more than good enough. So, it'll be interesting to see the official reviews, but, I don't think Zwift, being as big as they are, would drop a trainer that doesn't hold up well. Like, it's just not going to happen, in my opinion. So, I think this is great. I think this really is a scary thing for other manufacturers of trainers, because Zwift has the monopoly. Like, Zwift honestly has the monopoly. They are a software-based company, but moving in with this, it's not like they're doing this all by themselves. Like, they partnered up with another smart trainer company as well, and it wasn't one of the big ones, because why would Tax and Wahoo want to work with them, because it would take away from their bottom line. So very smart, very clever. I saw this ever since 2015. Like ever since I started Zwift, I always said, like, why doesn't Zwift have a trainer that you can buy? Like I remember when they just dropped their shop where they were offering jerseys. I'm like, where's the trainer? Where's the heart rate? Like, why don't they do this stuff? And I think for them, they were waiting, really putting back that money into making Zwift as good as it can. And we went from one world in Watopia to like all the worlds that we have now. So I've seen the growth. And I think just in terms of their business model, they got to the point where they're like, yup, let's drop the trainer. Let's get people through. No excuses. They can get the trainer. We'll lose money, but we get the subscription and we can reinvest into the platform. So very smart. I'm done my rant. Anyone that's going to say this isn't smart, like, that's a fail, in my opinion. So I hope you guys did enjoy this quick video. Obviously, probably not going to get my hands on a unit to test, but I wanted to share this video because I think that Zwift doing this is going to make a lot of riders be able to get into the indoor Zwifting scene. And it's already expensive enough when you buy a new bike, an actual good quality brand new bike. The fact that now they can make indoor trainer, a little bit more easier to get into is great. Now, I know the only criticism I have for Zwift is I remember back in the day as a junior, it was 10 USD a month, and now it's 20. But I do believe with all the features Zwift has really built out, wintertime is so much more enjoyable. The trainer is so much more enjoyable. I can't imagine the trainer without Zwift. So the fact that I'm even saying that is the $20 monthly fee, valid? I think so. So I'll leave it there. If you like this video, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and until the next one, keep on pedaling.